Welcome into the Ravens Rundown. So happy that you guys are joining me on this fine Wednesday evening. We got a lot of news items to discuss today because the NFL had their owners meeting, voted on a lot of things over the past 48 hours, and a ton of these new rule changes and not rule changes affect the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to break them down on today's show. We're talking about the Tush Push. Then we're talking playoff seeding. We're going to end today talking about Olympic flag football. I'll tell you how each of those things affect the Baltimore Ravens, and it's going to be a good show. Thanks again for being with us. If you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe right now. Hit that big red sub button right under today's video because you can lock us in. We cover the Ravens every single day. And also, if you hate the Kansas City Chiefs, hate Patrick Mahomes, hate Andy Reid, hate Travis Kelce, hate Taylor Swift, that's 5 reasons right there to hit that sub button. Try and beat the Chiefs report in the month of May. We're down 26 subs right now. They're kind of kicking our butt. I need you guys to do me one big favor and subscribe. So let's start with the Tush Push. Diana Rossini broke the news on Twitter today saying, breaking, the Packers' proposal to ban the Tush Push did not receive the required 75% support from the NFL owners to pass, per source. The Tush Push remains alive. Now, how does this affect the Ravens? Because that's all you guys care about. I think it affects the Ravens in a very positive way. They were pretty good at running the Tush Push last year with Mark Andrews and with Charlie Kolar. They did it a good amount of times, and they were successful on 80% of their attempts. This is what Jonas Schaefer tweeted out, kind of confirming that number. The Ravens went 4 for 5 on Tush Push plays last year with Mark Andrews and Charlie Kolar. Only their last attempt was stopped. And I think Baltimore does it the right way. Obviously, Philadelphia does it the way they do it because they've got a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. And as much as I love Lamar Jackson, he doesn't quite have the lower body strength that Jalen Hurts does. So they do something interesting. They throw in a tight end. I think that's great. Protects Lamar Jackson, and you get someone in there a little bit stronger, and they were really successful with it in 2024. John Harbaugh was asked about the Tush Push a couple of months ago, and he said, what effect does one rule change have on the next thing? So if you take out the Tush Push, then you're going to have to take out all pushing. So if we want to say that you can't help push a running back, then you can take out the Tush Push. If you're going to say that's still allowed, then in my opinion, you can't take it out. I think this is a net positive for Baltimore, okay? I think that you only face Philadelphia usually not a lot, right? You've played them last year. You're hopefully going to see them sometime in the future in the Super Bowl. 2 really good teams duking it out then. But it's you don't have to worry about defending it a ton. Nobody can run it as well as Philadelphia runs it. And honestly, if you're ranking teams who run it well, Baltimore has to be up there at the top. And we know that they voted for the Tush Push to happen because Adam Schefter said teams that sided with the Eagles included Ravens, Patriots, Jets, and Lions. So at the end of the day, the Ravens got exactly what they wanted, and the Tush Push still stands. My thoughts on it, I kind of go back and forth with it, right? I'm a little bit indifferent about it. I really have 2 thoughts. My first thought is, this is football. You play defense, learn how to stop it, right? Pretty simple. My second thought also against it is it's not football. It feels like a rugby type play. And this isn't the NRL, it's the NFL. We play football, a normal American sport, right? And so it's just I go back and forth. I'm indifferent. If they would have banned it, I don't think I would have cared that much. They're keeping it. I don't really care that much either. So that's kind of how I feel. You let me know how you feel in the comments down below, though. What do you think? What should the NFL do with the Tush Push? You think they should keep it or you think they should ban it? You let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Up next, let's talk a little bit about playoff seeding. There was a discussion at the owners' meetings today, and basically Detroit was the one that brought this to be. They're the ones who wanted the playoff seeding change, we should say. They wanted the playoff seeding to be changed in a way that you don't have to win your division to be a top 4 seed. They wanted that seeding to be dedicated based on sole record, which is interesting because they won 15 games last year. They won their NFC North, and the teams behind them, like the Packers and the Vikings, they were the ones that got screwed, not Detroit. Mike Garafolo tweeting this out, breaking the news, saying playoff seeding remains as is. Top 4 seeds in each conference are still the division winners. And I'm extremely happy that this didn't pass, okay? I really didn't care about the Tush Push. I really didn't care about flag football in the NFL. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. I cared about this one. I did not want the playoff seeding to be changed whatsoever, okay? And this affects the Ravens in a couple of ways. Because this is going to be a team that's competing for a playoff spot year in and year out, right? This isn't like the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Cleveland Browns, who they can have their own opinions on this. But let's be honest, let's be real. This really isn't going to ever affect them because they're not going to be really in the running to make the playoffs. But you're a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. This is a topic of conversation every single season because you have a guy like Lamar Jackson who's going to put you in contention every single season. And you play in one of the most fun and competitive divisions in the sport. And this is why it affects the Ravens, right? Number one, speaking of that division, it lessens the impact of winning the division. You win the AFC North, you win the AFC West, the NFC East. No matter what division of football, you win it, you get a top 4 seed. That means you get a home game in the playoff. That is good for football. That is good for business, in my opinion. That's fun for the fans. 3 AFC North titles for Baltimore in the 7 seasons that Lamar Jackson has been the starter. Of the games or the seasons that he's played 15 or more games, you've won 3 of 4. So anytime Lamar plays 15 more games in a given season, there's a 75% chance you win the AFC North that year, okay? We want that to keep meaning something because it benefits Baltimore. And the second thing, it also just like, if they take it away, if they just make it top 4 records, it can't help but lessen AFC North rivalries. This is the best rivalry in the NFL. And I don't even know if it's very close. Like that game, Steelers, Ravens, means something every single year. You play that team twice, that game means that much every single time you strap it up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that rivalry wouldn't go away. Like it's not gone if the seeding changes and it's just the top 4 records. But like it couldn't help but matter less. You want to say, oh, it's going to be the same. It's going to be that exact same fire until it's week 17 and week 16 and you're playing them and it just doesn't mean as much because there's not as much on the line. If you get what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to see it from the lens right now of making that change or make that rivalry matter less because right now in your mind, it's the only thing that matters. But if playoff seeding gets changed, that matchup just can't help but be changed in some sense of the word. Okay? Be honest for me. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Which NFL team do you hate the most? Let me know in the comment section down below. It might be the Pittsburgh Steelers. It might be the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know who it is, but you let me know your thoughts right now in the comment section. While you're down there, you're going to find this link, chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt. It's going to direct you to this one right here, which you get for 50% off. Let's be honest, okay? It's not very fun to be living in this current state of the economy. Everything seems to be very, very expensive. You can't go to Chick-fil-A now without spending like $12. You can't go to McDonald's without spending like $8 to $10. But this is a great deal right now because you get this t-shirt for $16. $16. A new piece of Ravens merch in your closet, in your wardrobe. And it's pretty sweet. A little bit of that purple rising look to it. 50% off. Chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt is where you need to go. Support the show, support Fanatics, support the Ravens. All 3 with this one purchase. The link's going to be in the comments and description of today's video. So the last subject we're talking about is a little bit of flag football. Ian Rappaport tweeted this out saying NFL owners have now officially approved a resolution to allow their players to participate in flag football in the 2028 Summer Olympics, 32-0. It was unanimous. No surprise, but significant. And how this affects Baltimore is, it's pretty obvious. Lamar Jackson will be Team USA's dream QB1. There's really no debate about that. The only debate you could have is like that it's going to happen in 3 years, and at that point, Lamar's going to be 31. Maybe it shifts to Jaden Daniels, but still, like as of right now, Lamar Jackson is the dream choice to be quarterback 1 of this team. And when you're talking about that, like I'd love to watch him play in it, but I'd probably advise against it. I know that sounds boomer of me. I know that sounds not very fun of me, but like, you're the QB1 of this team. How upset would we be if he hurts himself playing against Japan in the middle of summer of 2028? Like, nobody would be able to forgive themselves, myself included. And a couple of years ago, when this idea was being kind of tossed around in NFL circles, Zay Flowers spoke about it playing for Team USA. He said, "It depends on how I'm feeling after the season. You get tackled every day. It's different than basketball when you just go out and shoot hoops. I have to see when the time comes." All in all, like, I'm a cold-blooded American. I'm really excited to see it when it happens. I love, being extremely patriotic during the Olympics, cheering on my country, watching them absolutely dominate year after year, and I don't think this would change anything, okay? So if I'm creating a dream team for the Summer Olympics of 2028, here is the 10 starters I'm rocking with. Lamar Jackson, and then I'm just going straight wide receivers. You could add in a running back, but I don't necessarily think there's any need to. Give me Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and CeeDee Lamb. Then on the defensive side of the football, I want Micah Parsons as that edge rusher. I want Kyle Hamilton because of the athleticism he brings and the versatility. And my cornerbacks, give me Derek Stingley Jr., Patrick Surtain, and Travis Hunter. Yes, he's a rookie. He won't be by the time this is being played, but also he gives you that versatility. He can play wide receiver as well. Let's be real. There's a 0% chance that USA doesn't win gold when it comes to the Summer Olympics and flag football. Like, I'm convinced you could field a team just full of UFL players, and they would probably win gold. They're going to be playing plumbers from Finland. Like, are you kidding me? A guy who is a youth minister in Denmark is going to have to guard Tyreek Hill one-on-one? It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Let me just tell you that. Give me your dream USA flag football team in the comment section. I gave you my 10. I want your 10 right now. And as always, make sure you guys are subscribed and make sure you guys are following me on social media. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. Same handle for both, Joey Petersen 8. Those links are in the comments as well. And we'll see you next time.